What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Nerd Show. Today we're looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 2-pack, or a common DC pairing known as Blue and Gold. So these look really cool, and they're classic designs of Blue Beetle. So the Ted Cord Blue Beetle and Booster Gold of Michael Carter. Both of those look really cool. They come with some accessories. They have a nice display base. If we spin it around, well, maybe, okay, I guess there's no picture of it, but they have a nice display base in the background. We can put them both on, but there they are running together from some bad guys. So fun picture there for Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Just looks really cool. You can see that display there. So just an awesome looking pack with two cool looking figures. So I'm excited to check this out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Blue Beetle, whose real name is Ted Cord, and this is the second Blue Beetle, and he's a genius-level inventor that uses his signature bug-shaped equipment. He's the owner of Cord Industries, which is a scientific industry that rivals Star Labs, and he ends up eventually joining the Justice League of America, where he's partnered up with Booster Gold, and they become best of friends known as Blue and Gold, so that's why we have this pack here together. And overall, he has no superpowers, but he has a genius-level intellect and proficient in all sciences, but he is an Olympic level athlete and skilled in espionage, and overall he looks cool. This is like the classic Blue Beetle design I always know and like, not the newer modern like Jaime Reyes, which I also like, but I do like this Blue Beetle as well. It's just that very classic with the all spandex outfit, and is mostly, you know, the all blues, so it's got the dark blue and lighter blue. So darker blue up top, lighter blue underneath, has like that Beetle sort of cut out, as well as like Beetle designs for like the eyes, so he's got the big bug eyes there. So the Beetle design with the little antenna pieces, and then design continues on there in the back. Some blue underwear, blue gloves, and darker blue boots with black lines all spread throughout, and some yellow on the belt there as well. So I like the yellow thrown in there with the goggles and the belt and stuff, just makes it stand out. And overall, it looks pretty good. This is a nice, like, classic version of Blue Beetle. But we can do movements, so his head can twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far, so not bad movements there. Shoulders can come up to 90 and have a butterfly joint in there and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist. It feels pretty stiff, but it does twist in there with the double elbow joint that can bend pretty much all the way up on itself there, so really good. Then we get the wrist joints that are a little bit more of that blended in design. It looks a little bit weird, and they're like really thin, but they do allow the wrist to twist around, and with the design they should be able to twist at the top section and the lower section, but just a little bit weird. And they have the offset thing, so you see, like, trying to get it lined up, the hands bent in a little bit there, so it's a little bit off, so that's just a bit annoying. But the wrist does twist around like I showed, and then of course can flex back and forth pretty easily. But then we go to the ab crunch, so right in the middle there, so crunch forward, crunch back, it's nice crunching, twist all the way around pretty easily, and then probably has the crunching at the waist, so crunch back and forth and can twist around there as well. Then we get the hips that come up pretty close to 90, and out to the side he can do the splits. Little thigh twist up in there as well, but a double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, which isn't bad. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth, and again sort of like the blend in ankle, so can twist at the top and at the bottom there, and of course rock back and forth as I showed, and the toe joint on the end. So he doesn't have the best movements ever, and some weird awkwardness with the ankles and wrists, but overall I think he looks pretty cool, and that's one thing I like about this most. And I usually say with the McFarlanes, they carry off the looks really well, and especially of things like these where it's a classic design. We don't get too many of just basic classic designs on figures. We always get more modern day ones, and so I love just a classic old design like this that looks really good. But for accessories, we get of course a base plate to pop him on. Don't have too many issues standing him, not the best, but we'll put him on the base plate just in case. And then for a weapon, we get his grappling gun, which has a bug design on it, so like I said, he uses a lot of like bug inspired things. So we have this grapple gun with a little beetle that shoots out of it, which is pretty cool. So we have this gun that we can put. I don't think he comes with any extra hands, but he does have the one grip hand here on the left that we can put this in. So there he's got that grapple gun in his hand there, and that looks pretty cool with that beetle shooting out of it. So pretty cool there. And of course we have his card with a picture of him on there, which is pretty cool. And his bug vehicle there in the background looks pretty dang cool. And of course real name Theodore Ted Cord. And it says over the course of a century, 3 different men from very different backgrounds have taken on the heroic mantle of the Blue Beetle, each making their mark in different ways. The original Beetle was an archaeologist named Dan Garrett who discovered an ancient scarab in an old Egyptian tomb that gave him superpowers which he used to fight crime. He was succeeded by the brilliant Ted Cord, who had no powers to speak of but carried on the Blue Beetle legacy with his wits and his fists, along with a lot of the gadgets and a sharp sense of humor. So there we got more explanation on Ted Cord there. So overall, pretty cool figure. Like I said, mostly just the classic design itself is what wins this figure over. And of course, our second in this pack in the gold of blue and gold is Booster Gold, real name Michael Carter. And he was from Gotham City in the 25th century and was a star football quarterback. But when his dad re entered his life and convinced him to lose a football game for gambling purposes, he was disgraced and expelled from college. So he began to work as a night watchman at Metropolis Space Museum, where he studied the superheroes of the 20th century until he eventually stole some devices from displays and used them to travel back in time to the 20th century to become a superhero himself. But he was a glory-seeking showboat that staged a lot of his heroics that were based on his knowledge of historical events. So he's kind of like a faker, and just pretty much all his powers come from technology. So he has advanced technology that gives him enhanced strength, power of flight, energy blasts, force fields, and time travel. So Booster Gold here looks pretty cool. So he's mostly in an all-yellow outfit, has some dark blue. It almost looks black, but it's a really dark blue color. So has the covering that covers up around his face, even the goggles. Like I said, I wish McFarlane could come up with like a see-through, because I think the collar looks cool, but I wish you could just see through a little bit to see the eyes. But then he's got the blonde hair sticking out through the top, like a gambit design on there, and little bulge out for the ears and stuff, and a nice smile. But the nice blue and yellow outfit, star on his chest, and blue and yellow switching out all throughout the body, all the way down to the feet. And he's pretty much the exact same body as the Blue Beetle. You can see the Blue Beetle's like boot design stuff there. They just repainted over him to make it the Booster Gold design, but gave him different gloves and stuff with the different like padding and stuff on there. And overall, it just looks pretty cool and awesome. Like, once again, nice classic design of a character. So we can do movements, so his head twist all the way around. He'll look down that far and up that far. So not the best movements, but not horrible. The shoulders can come up to 90 and of course have that butterfly joint and can rotate around. We get the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself. The wrist can twist around and flex. Once again, it's that blended in, so it's real thin and looks kind of awkward, but can flex back and forth. And then we get the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch forward, crunch back, so decent crunching, twist all the way around, crunch at the waist, and twist there as well. Hips come up to 90, out to the side, can do the splits, little bit of a thigh twist in there, double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, then the foot flexes back and forth, twist back and forth on the blended ball joints at the top and the bottom there, side to side, and the toe joint on the end. So yeah, it's the exact same body as Blue Beetle, so has the pretty much exact same range of movements and everything else there, but I think he looks pretty cool there with that awesome design of the blue and yellow. Now for accessories, he gets a base as well, but again, no issue standing him, but we'll pop him on just in case. But he also comes with more accessories. So first off, we get a cell phone. So he's supposed to be, you know, like famous, like trying to get famous and stuff. So we have this nice cell phone design with the yellow and then of course the black screen. Don't really have a good place for it. Like, he has a flat hand here, but I don't think the phone would stick in it pretty well. It probably falls out, yeah, pretty easily. So don't really know what to do with that, but he does include it. We also get one of his blast effects. So again, from the technology he wears, we get these blast effects. So we can take and put this around his wrist. So there he can be shooting out an energy blast. So that's cool. And finally, we get Skeets as well, which is his little robot friend that came with him back in time. And Skeets was an AI robot from the future that was developed by Cord Industries, so developed by Blue Beetle's company, and was a security robot for the museum. So another thing that Booster stole when he came back in time. So we get this as well, and it's on this little peg piece that goes into the display base that came with this set. So we'll look at that in just a second. So finally, we have the card there. So there's a picture, a more modern picture design, but looks pretty cool there overall. And on the back, of course, real name Michael Carter, says a college football star from the 25th century who earned the nickname Booster on the field. Even though people assured him a professional career of fame and fortune was in his future, he decided he couldn't wait and wagered on his own games. The scandal ruined his dreams and reputation. Taking a job as a security guard at the Metropolis Space Museum, Mike saw other opportunities studying the early age of superheroes. With future and alien technology stolen from the museum and a time machine that was on display, he realized he could not only become a superhero himself in a past era where his criminal history was unknown, but he could also make his good deeds profitable. So there's all about wanting to make money and be famous is what Booster Gold is after. So pretty cool figure once again with that nice classic design. So now that we have Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, we can put him on that base that it came with. So just this like all machine based like thing, all gray and stuff. So let's pop him on there. So there I got him on that base plate. So there you can have Booster with Skeets there in the background attached into that piece. So he's floating there. And then Blue Beetle on this side looking pretty cool shooting off. So it's like they're fighting together, some bad guys. So I think that's pretty cool. Of course, you can have them fighting against each other, having them turned in, each firing their thing off. But I think it overall looks pretty cool. I like this design and can't really complain too much about it. They both have the classic looks that look really good and fit perfectly together. So I really like this overall. Like I said, they're McFarlane's not the best figures ever, but I do really like the design and pretty cool, awesome 2-pack here. So let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.